We're Bison! We are impacted! We're Bison! We're ready to get up! We want to win! Light the fire of power and make us free! We never break down! We want to win! We are impacted! The best team!
Hello and welcome back to TNI-UK Impacted. I am your host Bison, and today I am joined as usual by the one and only gender, and of course the man simply known as Steve. Now guys, I just want to say thank you ever so much for looking after the show, hosting and making sure that the show kept going for the last couple of weeks. Well, first of all, the Bison was ill for 1 week.
No. Yeah, we noticed that.
Yeah, and then he's been on holiday for 2 weeks. And I know I popped in for a few minutes last week, but I'm here today. I'm not going to be here for the whole show, guys, because I have to be honest. I literally walked in from my travels, which started at 6 o'clock yesterday in the US, and I'm absolutely shatteroonied, which in American terms is I'm basically fried. So I don't know how long I'm going to last, but I'm going to last a little while. It's absolutely fantastic to be back on the show. And I'm so happy that the guys managed to keep it going. I've got a few things that I want to do before I duck out. And obviously we get into the review. I will give an opinion of the review as well of the show. Obviously we're talking about Emergence, and I was there live, so I
saw
can give
you. We got to see J-Bone, and Will, and Violet. So saw the TNI tribe and the TNI family.
The TNI family were on the show, which was good to see. But yeah, so it's been a whirlwind of about 17 days, which is pretty much how long I've been away, and literally got in today. Obviously, the kids didn't go with us, so we had to go and grab them, and from the grandparents, who was quite a distance away. They were a couple of hundred miles away, so I had to go and do that before, I landed. So we landed after a 7-hour flight. We a couple of hours down to pick them up, and 3 hours to get home. So I'm pretty fried, guys. I'm pretty fried, but I'm here.
Can imagine,
because it's important that we make the show. It is important, and literally I got in 10 minutes before we got this show going, which is why we're probably running a little bit late, guys. So I apologise for that. It's all Bison's fault, totally my fault. So I apologise for that. But what I did want to do was I had a lovely card. Now I think I did notice that Violet was there in the chat there. Anna was in the chat, and she gave me an absolutely beautiful card. And I did want to read it out on the show today. It's got some lovely horses on the front because she couldn't find any Bisons. Which is she couldn't find a car with any Bisons on, so she got me one with horses on instead. Which is lovely. It says
cowboy theme.
There you go, still a cowboy theme. Bison, here are some cute baby horses. Too bad there wasn't a card with the baby buffalo on. Much love, Violet. So there you go. So thank you ever so much for the card, Violet. I really appreciate that. She gave that to me in person along with a personal hug, which was lovely. So very, very much appreciated. I'm going to go and put that up on my mantelpiece. It means a great deal to me. So thank you ever so much for that. I really appreciate it. But we had some fun. I even guys, look, this is very cool. I even managed to see the former tag champs. Obviously Ragnarok there. Yeah, spoiler alert. Yeah, well, we'll get into that in a second, I guess. So I managed to get a fantastic photograph of them and a nice signed, what they call them, 8? Is it 10 by 8s or something? So I'm going to get that framed up. It's going to go on the wall. And remember, some of you guys might have realised on my travels, I managed to meet up with the legendary Jake Christ, who gave me his OVE mask. And I just noticed on here as well, because it's all pressed, so it's full leather, But I don't know if you can see, but it's actually got his JC logo on the side. Hang on, let's see if you can see that. Can you see it?
Oh yeah.
Oh God.
Oh, yeah, how cool is that?
That's amazing.
I only realised that about 10 years ago when I got it out. Of course, you know, you've got his light side. That's his light side.
Yeah.
And then obviously that's his dark side. Arr. Right. So that was pretty cool. And what else did we get? Oh, what else did I get? I got a few other bits. I got some signed things. I got the fire starter one, which has been banding around, which is quite cool. And I also got the one where he's burning those belts, if you remember all about that as well.
Yeah.
So that's quite cool.
He released himself from all the shit, basically.
Exactly that. And I'll tell you what, also, the legendary Slowpoke sorted me out with a few of his bits and bobs. And I wanted to sort of kind of push that is indie wrestling collectibles. So we got some stickers. So guys, you know, don't forget to get onto I think it's slowpoke.com, I believe. Let me just check. It's all about supporting local independent wrestlers, which is pretty cool. There it is, slowpoketoys.com. So you got to make sure you get over on Slowpoke Toys. He will send this stuff. This is a pin, one of his pins. It's like a broken table, which is quite cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, and like I say, Slowpoke, if I put that a bit closer, I might be able to put it in the thing as well. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Slowpoketoys.com. So that's where you need to head over. Head over to slowpoketoys.com. Stickers, loads of pin badges. I mean, there's like broken chairs and tables and ladders and kendo sticks and all sorts of stuff like that, which is fantastic.
Everything.
So head over, go and check out that. He's a great guy, and he's trying to support independent wrestling, which I think is fantastic. So make sure that you get over and you do all of that sort of stuff as well. Anyway, let's just talk about Emergence, guys. Let's get stuck into a bit more. If you've got some news, I didn't look at the script. So let's hand over to Joe. Joe's got the script. He knows what we're talking about, Joe. So let's crack on with you.
I'll bore you guys a bit with brief bits of news. Scott Armstrong, we know, as you know, was at Emergence, and PWI's Mike Johnson and WrestleZone.com have reported that Scott Armstrong is now officially under contract with Impact Wrestling after making his first appearance in Impact Wrestling during the Knockouts World Championship match between Mia Yim and Jordan Grace. But it has been rumored, but it's now confirmed that he is officially part of Impact Wrestling as a senior referee and part of their production team.
Fantastic.
He might be familiar to some of you as he has been with WWE for the past 15 years as a senior referee as well as in production team. He's refereed matches such as John Cena versus CM Punk at Money in the Bank 2011, as well as several high-profile matches in events like WrestleMania, and was released from the company in January 2022. So he's been there for a hell of a long time, and he's got a huge amount of respect for guys like Triple H who've taken over now. So he's really open-minded about where things are going from there. So I'm actually quite shocked he didn't go back to WWE when Triple H took over. But he's been a referee, a producer in pro wrestling for ages. He's well known around. He's like Earl Hebner. He's like a living legend as far as someone you need to have in your company. So really pleased.
And he's very good. He is very, very good. Interestingly enough, he did the. I think it. Am I right in thinking he was the referee that refereed Jordan and Mia Yim? Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes, he was.
So after that match, he came out of the ring, and I think obviously he knew Bill. Because I was sitting to him and he came over and he was like, "Jesus Christ, I'm shattered." He's going. So he said that was immense. He's going. So that was pretty cool. That was a pretty cool moment as well. So very good. That's good news.
Yeah. And it's quite interesting as well, isn't it? How we saw like Bullet Bob Armstrong over the past few years, and obviously I believe he's his son. Now we're kind of seeing that, and we spoke a few weeks ago kind of about how like possibly I think there's rumours about BG James possibly coming in, and you've got more of this kind of Armstrong kind of relations coming into Impact, and it can only be a good thing, you feel.
Well, I believe that. I mean, I didn't see him personally, but I believe is it Billy James? I think he was in the production truck for Emergence. I think he was part of the production of that particular show. Hopefully he was there for a little bit longer. I mean, I know he's some people, I think you either love him or you hate him. I know that he's one of those sort of guys that will tell you the way it is, and if you don't like it, tough shit.
Definitely.
I personally think that then that makes Impact Wrestling a perfect place for him.
Yeah.
Moving forward, because I think they're probably one of the only companies that would be willing to listen to what he's got to say and maybe take some of the points on board, possibly. So it'd be cool if he's around for a bit longer. Then that would be great. Hopefully, that will enhance the product and make the TV product better. We'll just have to wait and see, won't we?
Yeah. And I've also got a rundown of the events coming up that we've got. We've got Victory Road coming up in September, and Impact announced over Emergence that where the last set of tapings in October will be held at Las Vegas. The Sin City Showdown will be October 21st and 22nd, and Impact will be returning to Sam's Town in Las Vegas, which, as everyone knows, has been a huge draw for the company, and it's got and they put on some great shows in Las Vegas. And over Emergence also, they announced the next Impact Plus special in November, which will be Overdrive. That will be held on November 18th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 12 a.m. I think it is in the UK. Overdrive will be broadcasted from Old Foster's Paris Town Hall in Louisville, Kentucky. So then a huge lot to look forward to as we head on towards the end of the year after Bound for Glory. So they're going as far as advertising is going. They're pushing the advertising out right out the park as well. I think they've taken that on board finally too. They're announcing their upcoming events at their big events now. So this is all got released on and after Emergence. I think we knew about Bound for Glory was going. That was announced too. Where that would be.
Yeah.
But
they made a big play on that.
We didn't know about Las Vegas, and we didn't know about the November stuff until Emergence. So they're announcing it all on the night, and they'll be announcing obviously this week too, no doubt. But
yeah, I think they're pushing the boats out. They're figuring out the best times to do it. They're giving us plenty of time to buy the tickets, so it's not like the month before and then they expect to sell the place out. They're giving us plenty of time to buy tickets now, which is good. I can vouch for the fact that the Emergence venue in Chicago is absolutely rammed. You couldn't get any more people in there. It was absolutely chock-a-block. So however many that was, I would say it was probably getting close to 1,000, maybe 900 to 1,000, I reckon. It was certainly, I don't know whether they officially announced it, but it was definitely capacity. It was full. And people were going nuts.
Yeah, our injector starts. What was the crowd like at there? We want to know. It was
fun.
Atmosphere.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun. And as always, whenever I've been to an Impact show, the crowd they always get into it. They proper get into it, and I think that the roster brings it, and the more that the crowd get into it, the more that the roster brings it. So I thought it was great. I mean, some of the matches were phenomenal. Obviously I'm not going to go into details now, but a lot of the stuff where they were going into the crowd and different bits and bobs like that was pretty cool. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. And if nobody else has got anything else to add, that's really all the news rip that's worth talking about at the moment. Pretty light, but then we got perhaps, in my opinion, the best Impact Plus special we've had to date, if not one of the best we've had to date, since I can't even put my finger on it, to be honest. It was such a solid show. I had to watch it twice. I watched it Saturday, and the heat wave was still going, so that made me pass out near the end. And I watched it all again Monday, and my God, I'm glad I managed to take it all in because it was so much to take in. It was just brilliant. Absolutely,
it was amazing. Yeah. It was an amazing show, top to bottom. As I said, I got the live experience. I'm not sure what it was like on TV yet. I am going to watch it because obviously, I want to check out how many times I got on the TV.
Oh, you were on there for ages. You were on there almost every match. You were there, and
fantastic. But what I want to do is I also want to check out how some of those kind of like the angles that they pushed like from the start. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously we had the fun stuff with Macklin and Sammy, which sort of kind of, you know, they went with it early, and all of us were in this going, my God, I can't believe they've gone so early with this. And then obviously as the show progressed, you sort of kind of realise why. And so I want to see how that come across on TV.
Yeah, I mean, it was very interesting as well because, like, and again, I don't know how privy you are to this in the audience, but they announced the match orders, or they announced all the matches that were on the card.
Yeah, they did.
Macklin and Sammy was the first match that they announced, so instantly you think, well, is that one going to be on first? And obviously they kind of probably put them in a different order as a swerve, but obviously normally the running order that they give you is the running order of the show. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, so it ended up, I think, being the second. Am I right? Was it second on the show?
It was, yes.
Second. Yeah.
I just remember like turning to Bill, and Bill turning to me. We were like, "My God, they're going with this one early." We were expecting this one to be at least sort of mid to late end of the card, but they went early, and of course, you know why now, because it was sort of almost a running theme all the way through the show, and sort of kind of like led everything from moment to moment, which I just think it was amazing, and they used the crowd, they used the audience really, really well. They were like, "Man, this place is packed. Let's show everybody how packed it was," and I think they did a great job. And I don't know when, because I think it was almost like, I don't know, a match in, they turned the lights on as well for the audience. So I don't think they had, like for the bleachers and stuff. The bleachers I don't think were lit until about
on the Moors match. I think that when they really shone up then, when Heath came out and attacked Kenny King. I think it was when we first got the view of the bleachers, because G.M. Miller was up there giving the interview.
That's right.
So it might have been just around that then. So, but it was to see the audience go completely nuts, especially when Doc Gallows threw PCO off the rail through. I think was a table. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's through a table.
It was
that's cool, because that was actually on our side. That was actually, we saw that like right up close. That was really cool. But I thought they highlighted it from the Bandido match. I can't remember how close how far that was. That the third.
That was the third one, because it was like the show must go on. So let's go on to Violent by Design. Then it was Bandido versus.
Because no doubt there was some serious Lucha fans in there. There was a lot of Lucha fans in that audience. They were going crazy for Horace, and especially Bandido. They absolutely loved him. There was like a whole section of probably a good 50 people that were all like super Lucha fans. That were going crazy for Bandido, and he kept focusing on them quite a lot. And they had a bit of trouble getting him out, because he kept on like he's going, like, and all this kind of stuff to those fans and everything. And they literally had to drag him out. The referee was almost dragging him off up the stand. I don't know if you saw that on the TV, but he was literally dragging him out. Which was quite cool. But Bandido got over really, really well. But anyway, so I don't know what you want to do now. Do you want to get slapped? Do you want to get into the review, or what have you got on your...
Up next is the rundown of the pre-show, and then the main card. So like the standard format. So it has all the highlights that were on the Impact website.
Right. I'm going to stay with you. I'm going to stay with you for the pre-show. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Let's get it done then.
Can do, mate.
Okay,
let's get it done.
A lot of reading, so bear with me, guys, in case my voice goes. Although I have got a drink on standby. But the night kicked off with the Digital Media Championship match between Bhupinder Gousha and Brian Myers. Bhupinder Gousha received his long-awaited digital media opportunity against Brian Myers. Before the match begins, Brian Myers comes up with some very harsh words with Chicago, and that promo, I must admit, was absolutely gold, especially Matthew Raywell's reaction to it.
I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know what reaction came from the commentary.
When you watch it, you get Matthew Raywell's reaction. You will piss yourself. It was absolutely brilliant.
Because he's Matthew from Chicago. He's actually a Chicagoan, isn't he?
He is from Chicago, and he was really, really pissed off. Anyhow, the match highlights are Gousha is about to hit the gargoyle spear in early. in the early going, but Myers retreats outside. Myers uses the middle rope for a low blow, then takes control with a flurry of strikes. Myers hits the implant DDT for 2. Myers sends Gousha crashing into the exposed turnbuckle, then rolls him up to retain the title. It was a lot more evenly paced than the highlights are given there. I must admit, I thought Gousha never looked too weak in this match. Myers had the advantage throughout most of it, but Gousha never looked like he was getting dominated. And I think I put the tweet out after I saw this match saying that he deserves a rematch because he was absolutely amazing in this match. I'm really impressed with him since he's come to Impact Wrestling, but he needs a rematch, because Brian Myers had to dig deep, rip the turnbuckle off, and then smash his head into it to get and hold us tight to win. He couldn't win it cleanly. So yeah. I'd love to see him get a rematch, and then we'll probably see Matt Cardona come in.
I have to say that Myers got so much heat when he came out. It was unbelievable. The crowd were very pro Gousha. They were really, really pro him. But I think it's more to do with the fact that the crowd just enjoy giving Myers stick.
Yeah.
So, because obviously, he goes off on stuff and is like, Myers, you suck. There's loads of that going on. And he keeps going on, obviously, about his blue check mark. And I don't know if you heard me on the thing, but I was going, when Gousha hit him with a spear, I think it was, I was like, where's your check mark now, Myers?
Yeah.
And there's loads of stuff like that going on, which was quite good. But it was definitely it was a good match. It was a good solid match. Did you enjoy it, Steve?
Yeah, I thought this was like Larry saying here. I thought this was one of Gousha's best matches to date, and I think that this. I was really split on whether we were going to see Gousha win this or not, but now. I think that because I think this is the first time we've seen Gousha actually get pinned in a one-on-one, isn't it?
Yeah.
So this is going to add to Myers' ego and even more, isn't it? And really going to push that kind of, you can't, you don't deserve a title shot or anything now because I'm the first person that's ever beaten you, kind of thing. So it's gonna make him even more kind of unbearable.
I agree. Yeah. But overall, I think it was a really solid match.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And if you were thinking, do I buy this? This was a great way to sort of say, yeah, there's a good amount in this. I think, yeah, I'm looking forward to the rest of the card.
Definitely.
I was sold on this match, and knowing that Gousha had a match with Josh Alexander in Canada a couple of days beforehand, which is why he got the strap on his shoulder. He had a match for the Impact Wrestling World Title up in Canada. So elsewhere he's proven his worth there as well. If Josh Alexander was giving him a world title shot, so going in knowing that just added more for me as well. That he had this match against Josh Alexander, and now he's coming in to get Brian Myers. So I thought he's going to get the belt off of him, but no. Sadly, Myers had to dig in deep, which is another reason why I was like, Gousha needs this rematch now because he just deserves it.
Yeah,
definitely.
Quick thank to Malachi Trace for the super sticker, mate.
Thank you, Malachi. Very much appreciated.
And bonus baby, yes, the dogs are always hyped up like this now. It seems to be naughty era, seeing Sammy's just gone over a year and a half and Susie's just over 8 months old now, so it's naughty toddler mode.
Fair dude.
And the next match obviously is Vex versus Ragnarok with Jessica because she's sick, and for the Knockouts Tag Team Championship. Oh god, I have to start giggling now. Taya Valkyrie and Rosemary defend the Knockouts World Tag Team titles against Deonna Purrazzo and Chelsea Green, now known as Vexed. Valkyrie gains an early advantage with Pandemonium sliding into Purrazzo. Rosemary attempts the upside down, but Purrazzo counters as Green delivers a foot stomp. Both knockouts are down after in-sync drop kicks from Rosemary and Green. Valkyrie quickens the pace and almost puts Green away with a Blue Thunder Bomb, which was an incredible Blue Thunder Bomb. I love that move so much, but this was amazing. Valkyrie and Rosemary connect with double German suplexes from their opponents. Green dives through the ropes but takes out Jessica ringside. Valkyrie and Rosemary hit Road to Valhalla on Green, but Purrazzo breaks up the pin attempt. Rosemary inadvertently Valkyrie, allowing Vex to capitalize with a double suplex to win. This match was really, really good match too. I was furious that Ragnarok lost so early because I just didn't want to see them lose the belts. But the way it ended, with not just from Havoc, but from Taya Valkyrie and Rosemary, or miscommunication from all sides. For me, this opens up the door for Taya Valkyrie to just walk away from Rosemary, or Rosemary to walk away from both of them, and we could. But I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes between all three of them now. But Deonna Purrazzo and Chelsea Green, they've been working as a team for 10 years, 10 years on and off, and they've been friends for 10 years on and off since NXT and before them. So for them to finally get the credit that they deserve, there's no better time to do it than now. Although I would have liked to have seen it gone on a bit longer.
Yeah. Definitely. I was disappointed in the fact that that VXT won straight off as quickly. However, I think the minute they came out with the matching gear, they looked like a tag. They really did look like they were now a tag team. They look good in the ring. Deonna is amazing live. I mean, there is no doubt about that. And actually, so is Chelsea Green. She's really, really good live as well. They both play to the crowd really well. I thought Jessica with her battle coat on was pretty cool. I got loads of photos of the battle coat, and she played to the crowd really, really well too. She was, because obviously where the tag team of Rosemary and Taya were sort of kind of like literally right next to where we were. It was on our side, so we got a lot of the cool, the sort of kind of like fun stuff coming from Jessica, which was great. She kept looking at the crowd, and she was getting the crowd going and making jokes, and she was brilliant. She was really, really good. Yeah, she was saying that a lot. She got
the whole crowd to start chanting that eventually as well.
Yeah, she did. She was brilliant. She was absolutely brilliant. In fact, this is the best I've ever seen Havoc. Yeah. I think this character is going to be the making of her. Yeah, she's so good at it. So
saying, we didn't know she had it in her.
No, because she's always been the hard, big, strong, tough Havoc. The monster. And now she's playing this really fun, cool, outlandish character. She was wearing the pink tights and all the black and the pink hair, and wearing her battle coat and all that kind of stuff. It was cool, and it was great. It was a good match, real good story being told in the ring. It was a good, solid match. I really enjoyed this one, and as much as I was pissed that it was kind of put onto the pre-show, I can see why it was, because it was so good. It's one of those. It's like, if you would potentially watch these first two matches and think, hey, actually, this is pretty good.
Yeah. The fact that it was a huge upset also added to its appeal. As a big fan of Rosemary, that's the only reason. That's the only negative I have from it, is I'm a huge fan of Rosemary and Taya Valkyrie, but I'm a huge fan of Deonna Purrazzo and Chelsea Green. So. I'm just taking a biased approach that this match was good.
It was very good.
It was very, very good.
It was a very, very, very good match. There was one match that you guys didn't get to see. There was a warm-up match, and it was a tag match. So we might get to see it on one of the.
It might be like a digital media exclusive.
It might be digital media. It didn't come up. It didn't say that. It didn't come up with that, but you never know. It might turn up as a digital media special. But it was Trey Miguel teaming with Laredo Kid versus Decay. Crazy Steven Torres. It was good.
That's this week's digital media exclusive. I've not watched it yet, but that is this week's digital media exclusive match.
Well, there you go. So it's a really, really good match. I recommend you guys make sure you watch it. It was a really, really good match, and Trey is full venom. That's all I'm going to say. Full venom.
Nice.
But guys,
I saw some posts on Trey Miguel about it on Twitter, like him doing this Dragon Ryan off the ropes to Black Taurus. I was thinking, I didn't see this in the last match he took on Black Taurus, which was like a couple of months ago or so. So I'm wondering where the hell did all this come from? Then I saw on Twitter that this is a digital media exclusive. Like, fucking hell. It's
Trust
really
me,
good.
this is definitely well worth a watch. It's a very, very good match. The crowd got into it as well, so it was a really, really good match. Make sure that you do go and check that digital exclusive out. I think it's available now if you're on Impact Plus, or if you've got the Ultimate Insider on YouTube. If not, I think it'd be available for free on Saturday. I think it is. So
Yeah, Saturday or Sunday,
either
isn't it, I
way,
think.
yeah, either way, make sure you go and check it out because trust me, it is a really, really good match, and I really enjoyed it. It really got everybody going, ready for the pre-show or the countdown to Emergence, which was great. So, but guys, listen, that's it. That's the countdown to Emergence. All I've got to say is it was a hell of a match, a hell of a show, Emergence. I loved it. I'm looking forward to going to checking it out on TV. I'm going to go to bed. I'm shattered, and I wish I could stay longer, but I can feel myself yawning and stuff, and nobody needs to see me yawning.
I'll tell you what, before you go, we'll play your soundbite.
Do not go in there. Woo!
That's class. Excellent. When did you put that together?
I didn't. I just popped on it tonight, and I assume either Jay or maybe Carla put it together.
That is fantastic. That is fantastic. But it was that was pretty amazing. That was pretty cool. What was cool about it was that we were because obviously I went over because I wanted to get it anyway because obviously I'd interviewed Rosemary, so it was a big thing. So I was more interested in sort of Rosemary than Ty at that moment. When I went over there, it was really funny because Rosemary was being Rosemary, as you would expect, right?
Yeah.
And then I went over and put arm around her, and we put like arms around each other or whatever.
Yeah.
And I went, it's Bison, right? And she went, and she turned around, whispered in my ear, "Yes, I know, but I can't let anybody else know," which I thought was really cool. Because she was totally fully engrossed in her character, which is really cool.
She is the queen of K-Fab.
Yeah,
she's just amazing. She is like the kayfabe queen. She just doesn't leave her character. So she was awesome, and Taya was just as awesome as the first time I met her. So, but yeah, no, fantastic. Right, guys, I'm going to leave you to it. You've got a hell of a show to talk about. All I can say is I absolutely love this show. Top to bottom, absolutely superb, and I love being there live, and I can't wait to get to another show at some time in the near future, and hopefully it'll be in the UK rather than me having to go to the US to watch it. But either way, it's quite nice going over there anyway. But William especially, well, some people call him Platinum Bill, but I call him Ringside Bill. He wants to come over to the UK, so he's dying for them to do a show over here as well.
Yeah.
So, we hopefully, fingers crossed, they'll do that. There is rumours like that there is a plan for it to happen at some point fairly soon. So who knows? I don't think it'll happen now until next year because they pretty much announced pretty much everything now leading up to Bound for Glory. So I can't imagine they're going to come to the UK in November. I think if they were, it would have been September.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
as we know now what's going on in September, I can't see that happening.
No.
So maybe September next year will be the time. But fingers crossed, we'll have to wait and see. But guys, listen, it's been an absolute blast. What was that? I missed that one.
Bison loved the show and the
Show
pizza.
and the pizza.
I did. Loving pizza. So yeah, no, it was fantastic. We had we went to Giordano's or whatever it's called, and we had the proper full-on deep dish. It was amazing. I could only eat half of it. I think I had 3 slices out of 6. It was so filling. It was ridiculous. But yeah, so we had that, and then me and J-Bone finished it off later after the show at the hotel room, which is pretty cool. But anyway, listen, it was great to be on the show. I'm absolutely shattered. Guys, have a great show. And looking forward to getting back to normal next Wednesday.
Okay. Rest up.
Take care,
mate.
guys. Take
Rest up
care.
to the Bison family.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Oh, it's good to see the Bison back. It's good to see him back safely.
It's good to hear from the front row experience he had too, and
Yeah.
sort of how everything was over there too.
Just having a quick look. Hi, Gary. You've not missed a lot. It's good to see you. Hi, Zach. Hello.
Yeah, yeah. We're just going to get into the main show now, so we haven't really got too far.
No, that's right. Here we go. The main show, the X Division Championship match. I was surprised I was and wasn't surprised this opened. I thought it was going to be Sammy Callahan versus Macklin, like we said, but the X Division title match has opened the pay-per-view almost, and the plus specials almost every time now, so it's not that so much of a surprise. But this match was unpredictable as hell, and Jack Evans challenges Mike Bailey for the X Division title in his return to Impact Wrestling. Both men match each other's offensive moves, offense move for move as they collide with running crossbodies. Bailey gains the upper hand in a kicking contest, then delivers back-to-back dives to the outside. Evans locks in a submission to slow the pace down. Bailey attempts a springboard, but Evans counters with a mid-air dropkick. Bailey hits a corkscrew shooting star press for 2. Moments later, Jack Evans comes back with a Falcon Arrow for a near fall of his own. Both men are down following in-sync kicks to the head. Evans hits a blockbuster off the top, but that's not enough to keep Bailey down. Bailey connects with the Ultimate Weapon to win the match and retain the X Division title. There was a lot of offensive moves from these two guys. They could have gone either way from pretty much the entire match, and right up until the end. And Mike Bailey just once again proves that he is the guy to represent the X Division right now, taking nothing away from Trey Miguel or Ace Austin or Chris Bay. But Mike Bailey as champion is proven to be phenomenal. He is, I won't say he's the next AJ Styles because that's just insulting to AJ Styles, and Mike Bailey doesn't want to be compared to anybody else. No. Like Ace Austin, he doesn't want to be compared to anybody else. But Mike Bailey is a phenomenal wrestler, and this match, Jack Evans, who so glad to see him back after the injury he sustained before Slammiversary. It's good to see him back in Impact Wrestling too, and I saw most of him at AEW beforehand rather than Impact Wrestling, but he was amazing. It was just so good to see him back. It's good to see he's at 100% too. The high flying moves from Mike Bailey, as we'd expect, were just incredible. Jaw dropping as always. The fluidity of it all and the execution is just amazing. Some of the stuff he can do. And is there anything else you want to add, Steve?
Yeah, no, like you said to begin with, I wasn't surprised that this opened the show. I was, like you said, maybe just a bit more like disappointed that it opened the show, because you kind of feel like you would like the X Division a bit later on. I thought the match itself was really good. I was very surprised in what I saw from Jack Evans, because like I say, it's been a little while since I've seen him, and he's obviously redeveloped his style a little bit more. He's kind of gone a bit more in that kind of ground and pound style.
Yeah, he's slowed down a lot more.
Yeah, which, you know, as you get older, you do. You know, it's a case of, do you try and keep going and risk injuring yourself, or do you try and, you know, redevelop your style a bit to try and think, right, what can my body do? And he's obviously done that, which it's quite interesting seeing someone of Jack Evans' style kind of work a slower pace. And he was also working at quite a heel pace as well, wasn't he?
Yeah.
There's a few things he was doing that I was like, okay, so is Jack Evans the heel in this match? You know, it kind of came out of nowhere, really. But it was quite interesting, and even Matthew Raywalt was sort of showing signs like he's doing things that I would like, and yeah, it's quite an interesting kind of call there. But at the end of the match, you know, it kind of seemed like they were both on the same page. But yeah, no complaints on the match itself, and if Evans was to stick around, I think he'd be a good addition in the tag division or in the X division.
Yeah, I could definitely see him in the X Division for a bit longer. Definitely for the rest of the set tapings, maybe even onward to Victory Road. But I really do hope he is sticking around, because I think he's still a free agent now. I don't think he's signed with AEW anymore, which is quite shocking, because he had a pretty good showing there from what I saw. So, but
yeah. And that's fair, mate. Like, you know, it was a different type of and one thing I will say is I think the ending was very messy.
Yeah, the ending was a bit. I think the ending was like pushed forward because I'm reading what Larry Bungo said. Jack Evans did seem to lose his pace a bit more towards the end. I think he got kicked to the head or something because he was out due to concussion. So I think he's taken a couple of knocks to his head and it's knocked him to 6, as they say over in the US. Or I hope they do. Otherwise, I sound like a complete knob. But that's nothing new there. But Jack, he's come back from concussion and other injuries, so he's not fully in ring ready, but he was ready enough to go in and give it his all.
Maybe, and like I say, you got to remember as well. I think the style he was wrestling is going to be very different to the styles of like an Ace Austin, a Chris Bay, a Laredo Kid, a Trey Miguel. So it's going to be a bit jarring to watch. Like I say, I don't think the match was without issues, but I don't think it was okay. I don't ever want to see him again.
Oh no, I'm up for seeing him again. I'm up for just to see a rematch between these two. Now they're a little bit more familiar with each other.
Yeah.
We then go on to the Honor No More promo. Honor No More prepares for their high stakes showdown against the Bullet Club because if they lose, they must disband. Kenny King vows to set a trap for Heath, who has been a thorn on their side as of late, as we all know. There was a lot of audio issues. That's the only negative I can say about Emergence. There was a lot of audio issues in the early going backstage, so I couldn't hear a lot of what I couldn't hear anything from what Eddie Edwards is saying, which is a bit of a pain in the ass. So there's not a lot I can really add to this apart from he clearly got everyone really fired up, and especially PCO, and we got to hear what Kenny King had to say near the end. So they fixed the audio issues out pretty quickly.
Yeah, there was a lot of camera issues as well. Like everything was incredibly dark and out of focus, wasn't it? And it was. Yeah, I mean, and it was like that throughout the night as well. So something wasn't quite there, and it was a bit of a shame really because the segments were really good. But I don't really know what the issue was because even the when they brought the banners up for for the next matches, they were very dark. So I don't know. I'm not quite sure what the issue was because it couldn't have just been a camera issue.
No, it might have been the streaming service itself.
Yeah, and that's true, Larry. It wouldn't be an Impact special without some issues. But it's one of those things where we often say, well, why doesn't Impact get noticed? And it is because of these small issues. They can put the best wrestling product out there, but if they don't get the basics right, that is the issues. Okay,
we then go on to Macklin versus Sammy Callahan. Speaking of Sammy, hello Sammy. Sammy seeks revenge on Steve Macklin for costing him his match at the Clockwork Orange House of Fun against Moose against all odds. Macklin attacks Callahan on the ramp while he makes his entrance and a brawl ensues. Callahan turns the tide and delivers a vertical suplex on the steel ramp. Both men toss the referee aside and as the fight rages on. Callahan sends him crashing through the divide between the steel guardrails. The fight spills to the back, and the match never officially gets underway. This we mentioned it when Bison was on. This was so unpredictable. I expected Macklin to come up and interfere with the entrance, but I didn't expect the match to never get underway. And it being placed so early, now looking at it, it makes sense as why it was placed as early. This was like the ongoing story for the night: is when are they going to come back, and when is this actually going to get underway? And what are you going to do about it, Scott? What the hell have you done? It was just a great fiery start to what would eventually be an incredible match and one of Macklin's best matches they've had for all year. But even this brief opening was brilliant because I was just sitting there thinking, "Oh, don't throw the match out! Please don't throw the match out!" So Sammy throws him into the back, and then they just walk off.
Yeah, I mean, deep down, I think you knew they weren't going to throw the match out because at the end of the day, fans have paid for the match. But it's one of those where when they went into the crowd, part of me was like, yes, because you don't see that much nowadays.
No.
Matches going into the crowd and having a big part of it. You used to see it a lot. Matches where they would pretty much most of it would take part in the crowd, whereas nowadays you don't really see it that much. And I was really hoping that they would ring the bell and just have at it in the crowd, and the crowd be a big part of who wins and loses this match kind of thing. But yeah, as we say, that didn't happen, and the match kind of continued without the bell being rung.
Yeah. We then move on to Violent by Design, Eric Young and dealing with Joe Doring versus Chris Sabin and Kushida. Chris Sabin and Kushida unite to battle their fierce rivals, Violent by Design. Dina distracts the referee, allowing Eric Young to deliver a knee to the back of Kushida from the apron. Kushida attempts the hoverboard lock, but Young bites him to fight it off. Young begins to wear Kushida down as Violent by Design employ their quick tags. Kushida fights out of the corner with the Tanaka punch, then makes a tag to Chris Sabin, who quickens the pace. Sabin hits a tornado DDT on Young, sending him all the way to the outside. Sabin connects with a cradle shot on Dina for 2. Young blindsides Sabin to regain control of the match. Dina soars up with a diving headbutt on Sabin, followed by a top rope elbow drop from Eric Young. Doring takes out Kushida while the referee stops Dina from bringing the Violent by Design flagpole into the ring. And Eric Young capitalizes on the distraction with a power driver flick on to Sabin for the win. I was really, I enjoyed this match so much. Again, the highlights they give on the internet don't cover the amount of action that was in this match. We saw some amazing offense from Dina and Eric Young. Kushida took a hell of a lot of punishment in this match, and when he finally got to break free, how he got to break free, and tag to Chris Sabin was just incredible. Using Eric Young and Dina as a stepping stone to then flip over and roll into Chris Sabin to tag him. That was one of the spots that really stood out for me. And the double team moves from Dina and Eric Young were brilliant too. And from the other Kushida and Sabin, we got to see shades of the Motor City Machine Guns and shades of Time Splitters, which was good to see. And even Matthew Raywald and Tom Hannafin pointed that out too. We got to see shades of Japan and the US that come together again.
Yeah,
which is interesting, seeing as Alex Shelley was Kushida's tag partner, not Sabin. But then, like Matthew Raywald said, they're both very similar, Sabin and Shelley. So Kushida would have worked with them, either of them perfectly, and he did. The finish was brilliant too. I expected Violent by Design to possibly get the win. I think I counted them out actually. I can't remember on the prediction show, but when how they won is how I thought they should have won. Eric Young getting the pin, once again proving why he needs to be the one in charge of the whole Violent by Design process and where things are going. So this win was more about Eric Young sending a message to Joe Doring and Dina, just as much as it was about him taking out the Chris Sabin and Kushida. It's just another really good in-ring storytelling match, and it was just brilliant to see. What were your thoughts on it, Steve?
Yeah, because you assumed when the match was made that it was going to be Dina and Doring, and then as soon as EY came out, it was like, okay, this makes the match a lot more interesting. And I agree with Larry that EY and Dina do work incredibly well together, as they should, because they've got years of history together.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward, because I believe that Kushida was at the tapings, and I'm looking forward to seeing hopefully more of Kushida and Sabin together, because they worked really well together in this match as well. Some of their offense together it looked like they just had that instant chemistry together.
Yeah.
And I think you can do, assuming Shelley comes back into the fray, you could really have a good 3-on-3 here.
Yeah, but it's definitely building towards something, with how things have gone for Alex Shelley now. But
yeah,
Kushida and Sabin, they just clicked straight away, and that was really impressive. Both of them. Saban is just incredible as it is, but
and some of the things that Kushida was doing, you can see that New Japan sort of style in there, and it's funny, isn't it, when you watch someone and you're like, you instantly know that style that New Japan has.
Yeah, I'm. Courtney, don't worry. Bison was in. Yeah, he has whoever's in charge of the TNI YouTube. He's absolutely knackered. He stayed as long as he could. He stayed until we did the full review of the pre-show, and he's just absolutely shattered. So he's gone to rest up now. But I'm pretty sure if he's thinking of you. So don't worry.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, like I say, I think he was with us for like the first half hour. So if you want to go back and give it a watch, then he'll be on there.
Okay, Bandito and Ray Horace, two of the world's top luchadors. Bandito and Ray Horace collide in this AAA special attraction match. It's a stalemate in the early going as both competitors avoid the incoming assault. Bandito hits a springboard corkscrew, then a Fosbury flop to the outside. Horace catches him with a mid-air dropkick to turn the tide. Bandito hits the three amigos and then throws himself into Horace with a handstand. Horace follows Bandito around the ring, then soars over the corner turnbuckle onto the floor. Bandito puts his strength on display as he lifts Horace above his head with one arm. That was an incredible feat of strength. That was a
moment.
You did not think he had that in him. Looking at him, you did not think he was that strong. But my God, that was amazing. Horace spikes him with a tilt-a-whirl DDT off the second rope. Bandito hits a deadlift vertical German suplex from the apron, crashing into the canvas off of the second rope. Both men are down following a flurry of action, but they're up before the count of 10. Bandito hits the back elbow, followed by a 21 plex for the 3 count. Bandito wins the match. This was just amazing. We expected an incredible feat from two of the best luchadors out there, and they did not disappoint. And Laredo Kid even highlighted that these two being there for this set of tapings is going to be a massive must-see for everybody who's not been paying attention to Impact Wrestling. Bandito and Ray Horace being there for the next couple of weeks is going to bring a lot of eyes on Impact, and it's going to bring a lot and more fans in. And this was incredible. I could go on for ages repeating myself just how good this match was, but honestly, I couldn't give you guys a full list of highlights because it would go on for hours. and I don't have that energy in me. What were your thoughts, Steve?
Yeah, no, like you said most of it. You know that you kind of knew what you were getting with this, but that doesn't mean that what you got was a disappointment, because they still exceeded that. You feel, I mean, like you said, you look at Bandito, and you don't expect that kind of strength from him. you know he's got it, but to lift Ray Horace up like that and then do the vertical drop, that was very impressive. And then some of the things that you were seeing Horace do and Bandito, they're sort of really showing that they can add a lot to Impact. And like we heard Bison say earlier, they know how to connect with the crowd as well.
Yeah.
So
now,
it's more than just the wrestling.
Yeah, I've just noticed that I actually did jump over a bit before this match. Before Bandito and Ray Horace, there was the Vex interview and Kenny King's trap for Heath. So let's quickly jump back over that before anybody else realizes I missed that out completely. Gia Miller interviews the new Knockouts World Tag Team Champions as to celebrate their earlier victory on the countdown to Emergence. That was a basically pure and simple. We were the best. Suck it. You can't beat us. We worked for this. It's been a long time coming. Let's see who can beat us now. And then Kenny King's in the ring, obviously to set up a score once and for all with Heath. King is distracted when Sammy Callahan and Steve Macklin brawl on the crowd, allowing Heath to deliver another wake-up call on King. Gia Miller catches up with Heath, and Heath says that if Onanamor does survive this no disqualification match with the Bullet Club, he's waiting for them on the other side. A really good, solid promo from Kenny King in the ring, winding up the Chicago fans and Bullet Club, and the promo Heath gave when he got caught, when Gia Miller got up with him, really firing up the audience for the rest of the show. And this whole moment was, let's get everyone fired up for the Bandito and Ray Horace and the matches that come afterwards, and it did its job perfectly. And it was just really good to see again.
Yeah. I mean, it's what we thought, what we were hoping we would get, something between Kenny King and Heath. And it was just very interesting how King was trying to lay a trap for him and was doing really well, and then suddenly just got a little distracted, and once again Heath got the jump on him. But I don't know if they're doing it on purpose, but they're doing a really good job of making Heath into a really good, likable babyface right now. You know, it's a case of, we say that Impact don't have many top level babyfaces, but maybe you're not quite aware that they're doing it, but they are building him into a really top level babyface right now.
Yeah, we saw that babyface come through when he tried to step up to Moose.
Yeah,
but even then, not everyone was sold on it.
No.
Everyone thought it was just, let's just chuck Heath in there just to make a match. But this now he's got a purpose now because Rhino's injured.
Yeah,
this is all done with it. It's all that character development coming into play a lot more.
You feel like if, say, I don't know, like Eddie Edwards, Matt Taven, Kenny King, someone from Honor No More was the world champion, and at Bound for Glory, Heath was the challenger, the whole Impact crowd would be behind Heath.
Definitely.
That is how well they are doing with Heath currently. Yeah,
and it's good. It was great fun to see Kenny King almost giving a running commentary on Sammy and Macklin. You could tell that's just how distracted Kenny King was from everyone, and how distracted everybody else was.
And one thing, and I agree, Larry and Mir is, that he's doing well because of how good people like Kenny King, Matt Taven, Mike Bennett, Eddie are doing as being heels as well.
Yeah. Okay, then we now go on to the Moose interview, and then the Sammy Callahan and Macklin match getting underway. Moose once again denies that he has any involvement or alliance with Steve Macklin when Sammy Callahan and Macklin start attacking from behind him. The brawl between Macklin and Callahan continues in the back as Moose joins in to make it a 2-on-1 assault. Security breaks things up at ringside until Impact executive Scott D'Amore comes out and announces that Callahan and Macklin will have this match, but with no disqualification, no countouts, and Moose is banned from ringside. Callahan is caught in the crosshairs as Macklin sends him crashing into the steel guard. Macklin launches himself off the apron, colliding with Callahan on the floor. Macklin assaults him with a steel chair. Callahan hits an exploder suplex into the chair, bringing Macklin's momentum to a halt. Callahan hurls the chair at Macklin's head. That was an incredible spot too. It got stuck into his head. Callahan hurls the chair at Macklin's head and then attempts to catch 797, but Macklin fights it off with a low blow. Macklin hits the KIA, but gets caught with tries to hit the KIA, then gets caught with a low blow when he tries to restrain Sammy Callahan with zip ties. Callahan then delivers repeated kicks to the groin, and now it's Callahan's turn to try and tie up Steve Macklin, and does so with zip ties as he ties the hands behind his back. Sammy Callahan delivers the Cactus Driver 97 and wins the match. This was so brutal from start to finish when it eventually finally got underway. Sammy Callahan and Steve Macklin are incredible, and I could sing the praises of both of them for ages, but this match was, if you really doubted how good either of them were, this match was one to show just how good they were. They took each other to the limit in this one, and Macklin getting busted open so close to his wedding. Even Gianna Brazo pointed that out on Twitter. Could you not bust yourself open or make yourself a mess before our
This is
wedding?
a family show.
And yeah, Macklin took a hell of a lot of punishment in this match and gave out a lot of punishment. He really shone through in this, and he shone through throughout the entire build up to this as well. Sammy Callahan was just Sammy Callahan. He's just over no matter what. But this match was fantastic, and I thought Macklin was going to win, I think, but Sammy getting the win just adds now that Moose is now next in line, and will Macklin still be involved? Is he going to now get involved because Moose got involved? What's happening next? So there's a lot more to come from this, and I'm really looking forward to seeing where it goes. It was just a great match.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Oh,
hello, Will.
Will, Bill, how you doing, bro?
It's good to see you.
Yeah. Got another fun. If you want to pop in and give us another front row opinion, feel free.
Any more thoughts to add from this match?
Like you said, it was a really good match. And some absolute. I mean, with Sammy, you're always going to get some brutal spots. And Macklin can bring that physicality as well. It was difficult to say which way this was going to go.
Yeah.
And now it's still interesting to see where it's going to go. I mean, I'm going to be honest. When Scott come out and said Moose your band and it's a no DQ, but it's a no DQ match kind of thing, I was a bit like, oh, okay. It made sense in the storyline, but I was kind of like, I was really looking forward to seeing Sammy in a regular match, because he can really wrestle when he's a really good wrestler, but we just don't see it like him do a regular wrestling match very often.
No, but Steve Macklin wanted to bring up the war to Sammy Callahan, so he got what he asked for.
Oh yeah, like I say, it made sense in storylines, but it's just one of those where I wanted something a bit different for once. We saw Sammy Callahan versus Ace Austin, Sammy Callahan versus Eddie Edwards, even Tessa Blanchard. The wrestling ability he's got is absolutely amazing, and it doesn't get enough praise. And it doesn't get enough spotlight. Yeah.
But
and I don't think it gets enough praise because we don't see it often enough in regular matches. That's the trouble.
Yeah. But you check out some of his matches on Wrestling Revolver, you get to see a lot of his wrestling style there, and he's incredible. We then go on to Honor No More versus the Bullet Club, perhaps my favorite match of the night. If Honor No More wins, they receive the Impact Wrestling Tag Team title shot that they deserve, but if they lose, they get disbanded forever. Ace Austin hits the springboard kick to Vincent. PCO catches Bay in midair and chokeslams him on the apron before chokeslamming Austin onto the ring. PCO gets sent outside as Bay launches himself off Hikuleo's back and collides with everyone on the floor. Austin hits Taven with the falls off the apron, sending him into a sea of humanity.
That was insane.
That was an incredible spot. It came out of nowhere. That was one of the best things about it. It just came out of nowhere, and I've lost where I was now. Austin hits Taven with the fold, sending him into a sea of humanity. Austin dents the trash can lid over Taven's head. PCO crashes and burns into a trash can as he misses the PCO on Bay. Taven and Bennett go low on Hikuleo to neutralize the big man. The fight spills into the crowd where Gallows drives Taven into the plexiglass barrier. Gallows chokeslams PCO off the barrier through a table blow, which was incredible. Because watching it on TV, you couldn't see where he was going. I only knew it was a table when I saw the ringside footage from a couple of fans on Twitter on Saturday morning. So it's like, fucking hell. Even in the height that Gallows had him.
Oh, yeah.
If he wanted to, he could have lifted him up a bit higher, but he did have a busted arm, so it would have been dangerous too. But, you could, even just thinking about it, how high you could have lifted him and throw him off, it would have been insane. Vincent soars off the top with the red rum, sending Gallows crashing through a table onto the floor. The Good Brothers attempt the magic killer, but Gallows' left arm gives out. Taven and Bennett hit the climax on Gallows to score a huge victory. Doc Gallows took a huge amount of punishment in this match, and so did Matt Taven. So we got to see that this is like it went an Ace Austin delivered a huge amount of offense. So we got to see that Ace Austin and Chris Beer really coming into their own as far as the Bullet Club and Impact Wrestling goes, and it's pretty clear that the Gallows and Anderson are probably going to be leaving at the end of September. But with Austin and Bay representing the Bullet Club and Impact Wrestling, and now becoming an even more solid unit, the Bullet Club and Impact Wrestling is in good hands, and there's no stopping Hikuleo, the Good Brothers, or Jay White coming back and adding to it whenever they need to. The amount of offense we saw from everybody on the No More was brilliant. The only one who didn't see enough of was Eddie Edwards. Ironically, he took the most beating out of everybody, apart from Matt Taven. But even Taven and Bennett, Taven and Vincent, they all came together and delivered a huge amount of offense. So it was really, really good to see all the guys you don't expect to see, or don't usually get enough spotlight. And it was really good to show that Honor No More is home, Honor No More is staying, and OGK are getting their shot against the Good Brothers, and it's happening very, very soon. And I can't wait for that. It's long overdue, and
Definitely,
it's just amazing. You dig what I'm saying? Any more thoughts or opinions to add?
It's one of those matches where you just have to say you've got to watch it to understand it. It's an amount of chaos that it's kind of like an organized chaos.
Yeah, it was...
both teams knew what they were going to do, but it was an absolute clusterfuck, but in the good way. I'll kind of agree with what Bonus Baby was saying earlier about the problem with the Sammy and Macklin match being no DQ is probably that this one followed, so they both kind of blended a bit.
Yeah.
But this one I did feel had quite a lot going on, and I think had a few more big oh my god spots, and I think the story as well for now played out perfectly because the easy option was to have Hikuleo have the pin.
Yeah. The fact that Doc Gallows got pinned just sends a message that something is definitely is crumbling.
Whoever is one of the tag team who is going to challenge pinned a tag team member. Yeah. So it makes sense that they get their tag shot, because again they've got their tag shot back by pinning a tag team member. Because otherwise it kind of still doesn't feel right. But the match itself, like I say, it's difficult to describe. You've just got to go and watch it, and it is worth it. There's some fantastic moments in this. There really are.
Yeah, I think that the production did a great job in catching as much of it as possible because there was so much going on. I'm really, really, really impressed with how quickly they got everything in shot. And especially the some Ace Austin and Chris Bay, especially the stuff that they did, flying off the ropes and flying out the ring, was just amazing. To get all that and keep tabs on what Vincent and PCO were doing was just brilliant.
Yeah, and I was a little critical of some of the camera work through the night, saying about how like maybe the cameras were a little bit like too sort of zoomed in or whatever, because at times you were kind of like, oh, but I think in this match it worked really well, because like you'd be focused really closely on like say Gallows on the table, and then out of nowhere you'd see Vincent sort of pop the red rum, and it'd be like, in this match it worked nicely because you would get that extra bit of surprise.
Yeah. So just having a quick look for some of the comments.
Yeah. We'll just say hello to Kurt Norse, because I don't recognise that name. So if you're a new viewer, hello.
Hello, it's good to see you.
Yeah.
Other than one tag man tag champs. Oh,
Yeah, very possibly.
you never know.
Yeah, no one on No More. They'd probably give one to Maria.
Yeah. I think Impact's ring is or arena is too small for these matches. This venue was the right venue to have it in. You know, an arena that size is the place you want to have it. Like if they did it in Samsung Casino in Las Vegas, that would probably just big enough, but it would be a bit more of a squeeze.
Yeah, this was one of the biggest ones they've been to. So
Yeah,
it's
was
just okay, I think.
Yeah, and the fact that they got so much other work going on with the crowd, it was like setting up that this match is going to spill out into the crowd. So they were like testing where everything is going before this match had gotten underway.
Yeah.
So they did a good job in prepping that too.
Yeah, but no, I do agree with quite a few of the comments. Is we do need to see more just one-on-ones or tag team matches, not all these 5-on-5s again.
Yeah. I think now that the Bullet Club has been like defeated, we are gonna start seeing now OGK versus the Good Brothers as and things like that as we build towards their match. And Doc guys with being injured, we might see one-on-one matches like Mike Bennett and Carl Anderson or something like that. So we never know. And we then go on to one of the best matches of the night, and some people are calling match of the night without a doubt, is the Knockouts World Tag Team match. God, the Knockouts World Championship. Mia Yim challenges Jordan Grace for the Knockouts World Title in this epic clash. The legendary Scott Armstrong referees this match. Both knockouts shake hands, and the fight is on. Grace gains the early advantage with a deadlift German suplex. Yim hits a running dropkick into the corner, then flies with a dive to the outside. Yim locks Grace in the guillotine before Grace breaks up the hold with a vertical suplex. Jordan Grace is showing her amazing strength with that. That was just incredible. She could have made that almost delayed for a few seconds, I think, before she finally crashed to the floor. It's just an amazing feat of strength. Grace delivers a thunderous running powerbomb out of the corner. Yim hits the Pele kick for 2. Grace comes back with a spine buster for a near fall of her own. Yim connects with the tornado DDT, but it's still not enough to keep the champ down. Grace counters with another tornado DDT into the muscle buster, but this time it's Yim who kicks out just in time. Yim hits Code Blue off the top. Moments later, Jordan Grace counters the package power driver into the Grace driver and retains the Knockouts title. After this match, Grace and Yim were about to shake hands, and Masha Slamovich hands the Knockouts World Champion a death warrant. This was one of the best Knockouts matches of the year, if not the best. Jordan Grace and Mia Yim proved that they both deserved to be the ones to have to be here, and Mia Yim said she'd come back to Impact Wrestling to prove that she's still got it. Well, she's definitely proved that she's still got it, you know. And Jordan Grace is wanting to prove that she deserves this belt. This match proved it more than anything else that she is deserving of this belt, and I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon. It was so well balanced throughout as well. Nobody really had a huge advantage over the other one. It was so back and forth. It was all fantastic in-ring storytelling and a really, really well-paced match. And it could have gone on for 5 or 10 minutes longer, and I wouldn't have been bored. It was that good. Any more thoughts? Apart from Masha Slamovich coming and handing up the death warrant, so we think we know who might be able to finally end Masha Slamovich's reign of terror, but we never know. But it's going to be interesting to see where it goes from there.
Yeah.
Any more thoughts to add?
Yeah, no, it was like we knew what we were going to get with both these amazing knockouts, and they completely did not disappoint. Like you said, match of the year for the knockouts possibly, and I think it's got a right to be up there. It really has. There was a moment halfway where I was like, is one of them going to turn? Because, you know, you got to that point where it's like neither could put each other away, and you kind of felt something was going to go, but Impact didn't go for it. But yeah, the technical wrestling in this I thought was sound. No problems whatsoever, and if you want knockout wrestling, then this was a great match to to sort of watch, and it deserved to be this high on the card as the knockouts always do.
Yeah.
And yeah, the Masha thing, I don't know. For me, it feels a bit soon. Like I half expected her to turn around and give it to Mia.
I did too. So when she gave it to Jordan Grace, it was like, oh fuck, this is going to be good.
Yeah.
But it's also like, oh god, her undefeated streak is probably going to end now too. But
yeah.
they're going to put on a hell of a match, and I agree with.
Oh, yeah.
But what Bonus Baby is saying, this was just picture perfect booking between two babyface wrestlers. You know, good competition with no cheap shots.
It would be great to see if Slamovich can wrestle a long match.
What Bonus Baby is saying, if you could bring his comment up too. That picture perfect booking with two babyface wrestlers, good competition with no cheap shots. You know, he's saying it. Everyone keeps saying that Impact Wrestling is the best place to book women's wrestling of all anywhere in the. Yeah. Honestly, I couldn't agree more. And that's not a biased fan opinion. That's someone that's been watching wrestling since 2001. Not that long ago, I know, compared to some, but you know, from the WWF Attitude Era coming to an end to now, TNA and Impact Wrestling has always been the best place to see women's wrestling and see it go in a completely different direction. And this match just went to another level I didn't think it could go to. Mia Yim was fantastic. Jordan Grace was amazing, and this match was just insanely good.
Yeah, no, I can't agree. Like, I can't agree more. Like you don't just hear it from one knockout saying, "Oh, Impact is the best place to be for the knockouts." It's multiple people saying it.
Yeah.
When you have that many people saying it, and more knockouts are choosing to come here as well now, which is good.
Yeah, that's a huge thing to that's just good for all sides. That women are coming to Impact Wrestling because they want to be to push themselves. They want to be seen. They want to let their trying to think of the right words to say it, to just let themselves go and be themselves. You know, look at Rosemary and Taya Valkyrie. You know, and Deanna Purrazzo and Chelsea Green, how they've come along over the last year. It's just amazing.
Definitely, yeah, and you don't always get stuck in the same position. You know, there's always the chance of reinvention as well.
Yeah. And we go on to the main event, which is Josh Alexander versus Alex Shelley for the Impact Wrestling World Championship. Josh Alexander defends the Impact World Championship against Alex Shelley in Shelley's first ever opportunity for the title, which still I can't believe this is his first time ever. Both men shake hands and things kick off. Shelley tosses out Alexander's headgear, then begins to target his left arm. Alexander hits a big boot out of the corner to bring Shelley's momentum to a screeching halt. Alexander locks in a backpack submission, trapping Shelley and transitioning into a backside for two. That was an incredible move. That was just insane to see the versatility of Josh Alexander expanding even more. Shelley delivers a knee to the arm, then locks in the Border City stretch. Alexander attempts the C4 spike, but his arm gives out. Alexander fights through the pain to deliver a fisherman suplex and create separation. Again, another incredible breakout move. I love the fisherman suplex, and the height Josh Alexander got from it with this was just insane. That's just amazing feat of strength. Alexander launches Shelley out of the corner with a T-bone suplex. Shelley spikes the champ with a pinpoint tornado DDT, followed by a top rope splash for two. Alexander transitions into the ankle lock, but Shelley grabs the bottom rope to break the hold. Shelley connects the slice spread, but Alexander counters his pin attempt into a roll-up for two. Shelley hits another slice spread, this time on the floor. Alexander fights back with a ripcord elbow and then falls into a pin for two. Both men exchange submissions, leading to two leading to 2 shell shocks from Shelley. Alexander spikes him with a power driver, but it's still not enough. Alexander successfully hits the C4 spike to retain the Impact Wrestling World title, and Alexander celebrates with his victory as Emergence goes off the air. And what can we say about it? It's a Josh Alexander match. It was just insanely good, as you would expect it to. Nothing less from Josh Alexander. Alex Shelley really poured his heart and soul into this match, and at times I really did think he was going to win. But we got to see that extra mile from him. He went for cheap tactics like knocking the headgear just to try and throw him off early, as you'd expect him to. We didn't see him like being Mr. Nice Guy. He kept on the character he's portraying, and we've seen since he went up against Trey Miguel that he's got that nasty side, and he's needed to bring that nasty side out to get to his title shot in the first place. And so to throw it out of this match to come about now just wouldn't have made sense. But this was amazing. It was definitely up there with Sabin versus Shelley. I must admit, I won't go. It was up there with Sabin versus Shelley. It was up there with Josh Alexander versus Jonah. It was just amazing, this match. It's one of those ones you've really got to see to take in just how much there was in it. It was just fantastic. And is there anything else you can add, Steve?
Yeah, no, like you say it, and when you see it and you see how good both these wrestlers are, it's a criminal shame that this is the first time that we've ever seen Alex Shelley in this position. It really is, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a different match to what we saw from Josh and Sabin, because obviously Shelley, like we know, he's got that slightly more kind of dickish attitude to him, and he will kind of take those shortcuts if he feels he has to, and he's also got, I think he's got a little more kind of to his repertoire, I think, than Sabin. Like he can do a bit more submission if need be. He's a bit more of a kind of grappling style wrestler than Sabin is. Sabin's more of that high flyer. So obviously, kind of, you got a grappler in Josh as well. So while they did do that X Division high flying, it was also a bit more of a can you top this on the submissions too. So
it was almost like Canada versus Japan in a way. It was so good. You got to see the New Japan star come through from Alex Shelley really clearly in this match. The amount of submissions he can pull off is amazing, and how easily he can pull them off as well. It's just incredible. And
definitely
Josh Alexander, how the way Josh Alexander countering into that cradle was just amazing. That was one of the best counters I've seen from Josh Alexander, and he's done some incredible counters over the years he's been in Impact Wrestling.
Yeah, I do hope this opens the door a little for Shelley in the main event scene. Yeah,
I've no doubt something big is coming his way again. It can't just be a one-off. And that's it for Emergence. We've also got the Second City Slams was taped over over Saturday, but coming up tomorrow we have Giselle Shaw versus Rosemary on BTI. We have Mike Bailey versus Chris Bay. We have Black Taurus versus Laredo Kid versus Ray Horace versus Trey Miguel. Kenny King versus Heath. And in the main event to decide who is the next number one contender for the world title, we have Eddie Edwards versus Moose versus Steve Macklin versus Bandito versus Rich Swann versus Sammy Callahan. And as I've mentioned, whoever wins that match is number one contender for the world title. So that is going to be insane. Who have you guys got to coming at this one? For me, it's a split between Eddie Edwards and Rich Swann. Possibly Bandito to pull up to get the fans going even more. But for me, Rich Swann or Eddie Edwards, given that they were two names Josh Alexander dropped in first before, and Sammy Callahan's got this match with Macklin and Moose at the moment. So But
Yeah,
for me, it's between Rich Swann and Eddie Edwards for me.
Yeah, too
I
early
can't-
for Bandido, isn't it? And Moose, Macklin, and Callahan, you feel they're gonna be involved in something between themselves. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I really want it to be Swan, but would they go Fate? I don't know. It's tricky, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel it's gonna be one of those two, but who? I mean,
Yeah.
we haven't really seen much of Swan recently at all, have we?
No, his last big match was against Kushida, and even but even though he lost that title to Brian Myers, that match he was on fire in that match, and he only got the digital media title because Matt Cardona couldn't hold on to it any longer. Really was the main reason.
Yeah.
So
I think we'd all like Bandido versus Alexander.
yeah. If that's one that I can see most likely happening, but it's not the one I want to see. I want to see Swan and Eddie Edwards, but Bandido will probably be the one that is coming, especially.
Eddie's a good choice given how they're now they're pushing Honor No More. And I mean they have teased it.
Yeah, and Eddie Edwards confronted Josh Alexander and started playing mind games with him a couple of weeks ago too. So.
I mean, the X Division title one's an interesting one as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bay versus Bailey, because I mean, if Bay wins that, then suddenly the Bullet Club have the X Division title.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see what happens. Yeah, Sammy's up here finally, Courtney. Well, he's been up and down around the back chasing Susie for earlier on the night too, so you can see that earlier if you watch back. But he's been a big baby, aren't you, Sammy? Yeah. So anyway, please don't forget to head over to the TNI Patreon for exclusive content when you sign up, and please make sure to watch tomorrow's flagship show for the tomorrow night's TNI flagship Impact live review directly after the show is aired on Twitch and YouTube. I'm going to get that right sooner or later, even if I'm not hosting again. Also, on the TNI shows, all the TNI shows are available for you to listen on the go as via SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows. Where can we find you, Steve?
You can find me over on the Twitter at SimplySteve311. So head over there, and I post everything Impact Wrestling related. Give me a follow, and I'll try and give you a follow back if I see it quick enough.
You can find me on Twitter at JKEmptySpace, or you can look through Twitter or Facebook for Empty Space Into the Void, or if you fancy to tickle your taste buds and your sense of humour, hashtag Daily Giggle. But you approach it there with an open mind, and you just might keep your sanity. And you can find the Bison on Twitter at Lord Bison45. Once he wakes up from his eternal slumber, we'll see him back on Wednesday hosting. Don't worry, guys. Please take the time to help us move up the rankings on YouTube by giving us a thumbs up. And if you're new to this channel and you like what you've seen and heard, click subscribe. And don't forget to give the bell a tickle, a squeeze, or a smash to never miss any of TNI UK or US teams' amazing content each week. Don't forget, if you want to support TNI, head over to Spreadshirt or ProWrestlingTees.com/Total Nonstop Impact. And with that said, I've been the Joker. We had the Bison on earlier today, and it's good to see him back after his time in Chicago. And he has been Simply Steve.
I think we've got a guest visitor.
Yes, we can. Bring them in before we go. Anyone coming?
Howdy, boys.
How you doing?
So figured I'd check in real quick here. Was checking out the review. Good job, guys. Obviously, we had the Bison visiting us, but so I figured I'd return the favor a little bit and say hello to the crew here. Good job on the review.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, and thank you very much for joining us.
And I'll make sure, I know you guys are getting up there. I'll definitely make sure to stop by for the 100th episode coming up.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Hopefully we get a party like we did for the 50th.
Yeah, we're
Yes.
four episodes away from the big 1K, guys. Or
Yeah.
I think that's right, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I think another four away.
Yeah, 4 away. And it's going to be pretty exciting. I'm looking forward to it.
Is that the bloke off the telly? I've seen him in the crowds.
Yeah, I know. It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mind you, I can say that about Bison now as well, and J-Bone if I see if he comes on. So, oh god, it's just good to have you on.
Yeah, and after obviously a great show there, these specials, man, they might be some of the best shows of the year, especially this last.
Yeah,
they always seem to pull it out of the bag with Emergence. Emergence always seems to be that one that they like to push a little more.
Yeah, no, it was definitely good. Hopefully, everyone, I think everyone here has checked it out in the chat by now. But if for some reason you didn't, you got to catch it. You got to catch these guys every Wednesday. Come on.
Yeah, catch the guys in the US every Thursday.
Yeah, every Thursday.
Already tomorrow. Jeez.
Yeah, no, you're gonna be knackered.
You're a busy guy.
Very busy, very busy. So, but no, keep up the good work, guys, and yeah, we'll see everybody on the U.S. side tomorrow. And who knows? Because Bison, is he landing today? And then
no, he's already home.
He is home. He's asleep now.
Yeah.
Fantastic! I figured as much. I figured.
Yeah.
So
he joined us. He joined us for the first half hour, and then he popped off.
All right, very good, very good. Who knows? Maybe we'll be able to get him on briefly to talk about his stuff on the review show. So hopefully we see him, and then hopefully we can get over there maybe at some point. Bison makes a trip over here. I got to make that trip over there at some point with you guys.
Yeah, gotta bring Trent and J-Bone
earlier.
Gotta bring Trent, even if he's because the trip over here won't be it'll be worth it. You know, I know Trent is really is eager to come over, so it would be great to see him.
Yeah, I've been eager too. I was just like, come on, man, let's get that TV deal. Let's get over there. Come on, let's do it.
Yeah.
Make it happen.
Needs to happen.
Come on, Sky.
Okay. And with that, I think that closes it off. I'll reiterate the finale. Don't forget to support everyone at the TNI. Be heading over to the Spreadshirt store or ProWrestlingTees.com/Nonstop Impact. And with that said, I've been Majoka. He has been Simply Steve, and we have been joined by Ringside Bill. Thank you very much, guys. Good night, and we'll see you tomorrow for the live review on Thursday.
We're Bison! We are in battle!